Only when we achieve this caste census, then our real share will be determined. Once our real share is determined, then the empowerment comes in. The so-called upper caste, you give them a 10% share in the golden plate and you call them as economically weaker section. Do you mean to say there is no economically weaker section in scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and the backward classes all coming under OBCs? And generation after generation you have discriminated them, kept out of the power, kept out of the jobs, kept out of the education by any institution for employment. The cut-off marks for EWS will be lesser than the scheduled tribe. The convention which has been organized here is on the social justice, proportionate representation in resources and power, and caste census. Friends, these three important topics is very much important to be debated, and we have to see that our voices are heard. Our voices are heard to the persons who are at the helm of the affairs. These topics is not new for us. We have been asking to increase our representation in the power, in the education, in the employment. Friends, you all know that 27% of reservation which was given by the Mandal Commission was out of a great struggle. On the basis of 1931 census, and after a great amount of work, Justice Mandal was able to give us this 27% in 1980. So the report came and it was in the Almirah of the central government. Only in 1990 it was implemented. It was implemented because VP Singh was there. It was implemented because Dr. Kalaignar Karunanidhi from our Tamil Nadu state, he was aligning with the VP Singh government who brought a pressure, and that is how the Mandal Commission was implemented. But what happened after the implementation of Mandal Commission? No doubt, only in 2006 an act came where this 27% reservation was implemented in the educational institutions. We got reservation only in 2006 for BCs, other backward classes, because of this act which came in 2006. Friends, now we all have to say with one voice that what you gave reservation in 1990 of 27% is not sufficient today. The reason is we are being denied of rightful share in the employment. We have been denied of a rightful share in the education. Are we worth 27%? I am asking you all, are we worth 27%? Is that sufficient for us? No, that is insufficient. This 27% was given on the basis of 1931 caste census. So now you can understand how they pull back this increasing of reservation. Today, if a caste census is conducted all India level, then we will know the exact population of the OBCs. If the exact population of OBCs is ascertained, then the exact share in the education, exact share in the employment has to be given by the government. Our 27% of reservation will increase. It will increase to the extent of 60 to 70%. They don't want to give so much of reservations to the other backward classes. Friends, you should realize that we have been insisting upon this caste census time and again. If caste census is conducted, then we will get our share more. We will get more reservation. What happened in 2015? The Social Economic Caste Census SECC was undertaken. They undertook from 2011 to 2015. You know what is the expenditure? What is the amount of money that went for this census? Nearly 4,870 crores was spent for this SECC census, which was conducted between 2011 to 2015. The UPA government undertook this census exercise. After undertaking this census exercise, it was distributed among all the states. All the data were given, including the census of OBCs. All the state was asked to find out whether the data collected is correct. The state government, each state government verified the data and found that 98.37% is correct. Now, after finding that 98.37% data is correct, what prevented them from releasing this data? The Prime Minister, the present Prime Minister, who chaired the committee meeting, he gave this data to the Niti Aayog. The Prime Minister said that Niti Aayog will scrutinize the data. After the Prime Minister chaired a meeting in 2015, after the data was given to the Niti Aayog chairman, till today nothing has been done. So from 2015 to 2024, those data is sleeping in the cupboards of Niti Aayog chairman. Now friends, there is no point in we coming together, speaking and going away, because we have been robbed of our lawful share, lawful entitlement, and every time we have been given false promises and we have been duped without really taking care of our problems. So therefore, that is why our Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, he always champions for the rights of the people, the rights of the depressed, rights of the oppressed class, and he is a champion of the social justice. And he said unless you take caste census immediately, we will not be in a position to empower the downtrodden people, to empower the oppressed and depressed people. So therefore, I would urge each one of you, I would appeal to each one of your organization that your uniform voice should be for a caste census. Unless you ask for a caste census, there will be no empowerment of OBCs. I am telling you, I am warning you, and I am requesting you again and again that this caste census national level has to be taken, has to be immediately undertaken by the union government. That should be our voice. Only when we achieve this caste census, then our real share will be determined. Once our real share is determined, then the empowerment comes in. I am really surprised when it comes to the so-called upper caste. When it comes to the so-called upper caste, you give them a 10% share in the golden plate and you call them as economically weaker section. Sir, I'll ask you one thing. Aren't we economically weaker section? Do you mean to say there is no economically weaker section in scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and the backward classes all coming under OBCs? What do you mean by economically weaker section? You gave reservation to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and backward classes on the ground that they should be brought to the mainstream, and generation after generation you have discriminated them, kept out of the power, kept out of the jobs, kept out of the education, and all were taken by the one people, you know, whom I am telling, and you gave reservation for them, for the depressed class, for the OBCs, for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. When they are coming into the mainstream, why did you give reservation for the upper caste, 10% reservation? Are you fooling us? If you see the number of population of this upper caste, it will be very less. For a small, minuscule population, you are giving 10% of reservation. And there is no justification at all, because they have been enjoying the jobs, they have been enjoying the education all along. Now today, kindly see the notification issued by any institution for employment. The cut-off marks for EWS will be lesser than the scheduled tribe. What message are you conveying to us? So therefore, my friends, we have assembled here. All of you should insist on one important issue, that is caste census. When the caste census is known, the power of OBC will be known.
नेशनल दस्तक की आपसे गुजारिश है कि अगर इसको बचाना चाहते हैं तो नेशनल दस्तक को सब्सक्राइब करने के लिए रेड कलर के सब्सक्राइब बटन को दबाएं, फिर बेल आइकन की घंटी दबाएं। नेशनल दस्तक को बचाने के लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि हर खबर को शेयर करें, लाइक करें, कमेंट जरूर करें।